here. Okay, we'll get the other machine running. Okay, that's running. So I will share the presentation just so the guys who come in cold on YouTube have a bit of background what we're talking about here. Okay, so got that. All right. It will sort of be more relaxed. Sort of introduced it. Okay, so welcome, Hardev and Dawn. Thanks for coming. So this webinar is about how to help others transmute their karma into their gifts of service with the soul contract reading training. And I will just do the sort of initial blurb and then we can just have a chat. So, have you noticed how people turn away from the biggest karmic challenges they face in their lives, no matter how hard they've tried, as they're just too painful for them to face? That was me for a long time, as they lack the spiritual map of life of how to overcome them. So this free live webinar is about how you can help others identify these core patterns and how to go about transmuting them, most importantly, so they can deliver their gifts of service to the world. That special thing that we as light workers have been looking for our entire life. Okay. So I'd like to get to know you guys and find out why you're here and what you need from us, because there's two of you, we can shape this in whatever way you want. So Hardev, you've been courageous showing yourself. So you want to say where you are and what brought you here and
okay,
what you'd like from this, then I can sort of focus it to meet you and Dawn's needs.
Sure. I've had a lot of trauma in my life for extended period of time, and sort of now in my later part of my life, I've been fortunate enough to have a soul contract reading, and I've been doing a lot of divine healing for the last couple of years and seen the transition, the changes in me as a person. I'm a lot less angry. I don't have angry intentions towards people. I don't feel the world is against me anymore. And basically the journey I've had in the last 2 years, I try to look at myself and where I was 2 years ago, even longer than that, to where I am today. So I feel like I'm a completely different person. I've actually come into myself. From a very young age, all I wanted to do was help people from a very young age, in terms of healing, because my mother, I was fortunate enough, I still have my mother with me, but she had a lot of neck injuries and pain in her neck, and I used to just somehow take that pain away, and I didn't know how I used to do it, and I was very young back then. And then life got in the way, and now that part of my life is past, and now this is the new entrance to the new, not the new me, but the actual person I should have become when I was younger, in my younger life. But now I'm happy that I'm actually where I am, and I actually want to learn how I can help other people to get over, or at least not get over, but to actually understand the trauma, the non-success, if they feel that's what they have, to actually change that for them, to actually see what they have and what their abilities are. We're all equal in terms of how we're built, but our mind is very different, and our life experiences, shape our mind. But your soul is your soul. It's understanding how you are and what you want to do and what you should do to get that movement and get that understanding and go for it and help everyone that you possibly can. And that's why I'm here.
Okay, sounds like you're a man on a mission. So
yeah.
Yeah, and where are you based?
Based in Middlesex, Hounslow, Middlesex.
Okay. All right. Dawn, do you want to tell us why you're here and what you need from us? We can do our best to meet those needs.
Well, I loved hearing. I don't know how you say your name, Hardev?
Hardev, yeah, that's right.
Hardev. Yeah, I loved hearing what you said, and it just kind of reminded me. I mean, quite honestly, my own life, I at this point, I was here more to learn this for myself more than anything, because like I said, I just found out about you, and I did a very basic reading, but I don't know how it applies to me. And like Hardev was saying, how he wants to, it used to be my goal to just be able to help everyone. Somehow life has gotten me to a point where I actually feel lost. I feel so blocked. And it's almost like it's just so blocked. I can't even say anything beyond the block. So I was looking at this more for myself to learn more. And I mean, I know that it used to be, like I said, I just wanted to help everybody, and I still have that. But it's weird. It's like I just can't get past these blocks at this point. So that's where I'm coming from.
Okay. And where are you located, Dawn?
In California.
You're up at 2 a.m. Well done.
Yes.
You're very keen to learn this. Yeah.
Well, it's interesting. I wanted to go to sleep and something just said, no. And then I saw your email and I'm like, oh, it's now. So I think I thought I was going to listen to the recording, but yes, now I'm here.
Okay. All right. Okay, guys. So let's talk about this. So I see where you are. So let's get back to I'll follow the flow of the presentation roughly, so I cover everything for you. So, okay. So now we know why you're here. So tell you why I'm here. I had a reading from Frank Alper, the founder of this work in Arizona back in 1990, and he read my soul contract chart, and it was one of the most life-changing days I ever had, apart from having my son body up there. And it explained my entire life, and it got me on this mission. I learned it with him, this work, and then brought it to England and shared it to train teachers, practitioners, to actually help people wake up out of the stuckness you're talking about here, Dawn. And it's all about, have you both read the book, Hardev? You read the book?
I haven't. No, I haven't.
You just had a reading though.
I've had lots of readings. So I've basically, from 2 years ago in January, I've had a reading every month. I do divine healing every month, because there's a lot of layers and like an onion, lots of layers of trauma, and self-doubt and so forth, which it takes time to remove. And I am where I am now, and I'm ready to learn and understand that beyond what I've got from this.
Okay, so you're receiving divine healing, and at the same time the practitioner is looking at your soul contract chart. Have I got that right?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, correct.
All right.
So we did the soul contract chart 2 years ago.
Yeah.
And from there we've met every month for a couple of hours, going through healing process and discussions and so forth.
Okay. Can I ask who your practitioner is, just so I know who this?
Harinder.
Okay. Yeah, I know Harinder very well. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So Dawn, how did you get your soul contract reading? Did you do it from the book, or have you received a reading from someone, just so I know where to pitch this?
No, I haven't read the book, and I just found a site online that gave me, so I just know my numbers, and then I got them very quick, and it might be your site if you have that on your site. So really, it was too basic for me to really grasp the depth of what I know you share.
Okay, so you've just got the Star of David from software, soulcontractreader.com, by the sounds of it.
Yes, that sounds correct. Yes.
You don't have an interpretation for that at the moment.
No, just the very basic that was given.
Okay. All right. Well, we can sort that out. Okay. All right. So the principle of this work, as both of you are looking at coming online with your mission, is that our karma our greatest challenges, like the stuckness for you, Dawn, and the trauma for you, Hadev, contains our spiritual gift of service. I know it seems a bit warped, but that's just the way God works. This is God in a spiritual sense. So initially, we have the law of opposites, creates everything that we don't want. Okay, and it goes with the law of attraction. You're both familiar with the law of attraction, what you think and feel, usually unconsciously creates your reality.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So initially we get everything we don't want, which is pretty unpleasant, as you both know. So we get clear what we do want. So we take action. Well, Hadev, you've been working on clearing your trauma and coming to your power and all that sort of thing. Because basically your gift of service is to come into your power. And yours, Dawn, we'll get to in a little while, but it's definitely about becoming unstuck. And I would say you guys that work with people, if you're, especially you, Hadev, you're probably here to work with people just like you. Your ideal customer is you, because you have had the hard experience, real hard experience of breaking through that. So it's not an idea for you, it's actually who you are.
Correct.
And you've gone from a journey of the karmic pattern, very traumatized, disempowered, you're going a journey to become empowered. And others will be attracted to you for that. And what your journey is, Dawn, we'll do a little demo on your chart, Dawn, so you haven't had your reading done in a little while. So we always turn our karma here into a gift of service. And because most people avoid their karma, they go off, rather than doing this, they go off somewhere else and their life they get stuck. So it's about turning into the karmic pattern, which we'll get to yours in a little while, Dawn. And then out of that will come your gift of service. And that's actually how you get unstuck. So this is our training. Our karma is our training for our mission of service here on earth. So let's go down here. Okay, so what this work does, if you're interested in learning it, how to do this work, even if it's just for yourself, a lot of people don't just want to learn it for themselves, is that you can decode, becoming a soul contract reader, practitioner, you can actually decode the secrets of the blueprint for spiritual seekers hidden within the sounds of their birth name, which creates a reality in each and every moment. This is like your attraction codes in your DNA, in your energy fields, and it radiates out to the reality. And basically, the matrix rearranges around it. So, how was it, Hadev, when you first had your reading, in terms of moving out of the chaos of what your life was when you had that reading 2 years ago? How did that feel to see there was a complete order to what's actually going on, all this craziness?
So when I had my first reading, is one, very emotional. Two, actually being able to see the clarity, there is something else beyond all my mess and all my trauma and everything that was currently going on in my life at that time. And slowly seeing that change. When I mean slowly, I mean as we progressed through the session. After the session was up, it was still lots of things were changing. My mind was becoming uncloudy. A lot of how can I put it? Allowing the energies to be felt. I never allowed it before because of all the stuff that was going on. So it empowered me to actually have that belief in continuing to do the work. So yeah, for me it was like, you know, a light bulb moment. This is where I'm supposed to be.
Yeah. Your higher self lent a big hand and said, here's how you do it. Yeah, it's like night and day, isn't it?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah, no more driving around in the dark with the lights off on the car, crashing into things. It's like lights on. This is like your spiritual sat nav, actually, the soul contract reading. It says, here's the direction you're meant to go, and here's what you got to do to get there. So life starts to flow.
Yeah, it was very moving.
Yeah. So the spiritual map of life, it's like here's a roadway. We've got the lights on, we're traveling this way. It helps you overcome the karma, the blockages on this road. That's what you use divine healing for. That's what you've been talking about. It helps you express more of your talents, And it helps you get to the goals, both physically and spiritually. It helps you align to and manifest your life purpose over here. So this helps move you out of stuckness, Dawn. Okay, so let's go to the next page here. So the way we decode this is on the Star of David. Okay. What we do, actually, Dawn, do you want to just leave the microphone on? We can have a chat.
Okay. Yes.
Okay.
Sure.
Okay. Are you open to me giving you a taster reading to show you?
Yeah. Actually, sure. Yes.
Yeah. So I'll do it off the software directly here on soulcontractreader.com. So we'll find out why you're stuck and, most importantly, what you can do about it. Okay. So, all right. So what's your current name, Dawn? What's the common name?
Actually, well, you can put it because I know it's just that. So it's actually Laura, and then so Laura. It's actually Laura Dawn. So you can put it after. It doesn't matter. I know it's just the letters, right?
Yeah. So what's the current common username? Because I've got to give this a label. This file. So what's the last name?
Wells, WELLS.
Okay. Okay. So now we'll put the birth name.
Oh, okay. Birth name is Laura. Yeah, Laura Dawn Wells. Okay.
We won't put your birthday in because it's a public video. So what's your star sign? If you're happy to give that.
I guess if you use the standard, it's Gemini. If you use the Vedic, it's Cancer.
Okay. You're okay for me to analyze this?
Yeah, thank you.
We'll go into that. And we will look at your chart here. Okay, so the way this works, I'm going to explain this for the guys who've coming across this for the first time, is that Dawn's soul looked at all its past lives and said what would be optimal, because there's certain themes which repeat each lifetime. And the soul evolves from those. What will be the optimal set of energies to create through the law of attraction this next lifetime, the one Dawn's in now, so that I can increase the amount of unconditional love within me. And so we use 22 letters of the ancient Hebrew alphabet, which come out of the movement of great spiritual God and the creationist universe. And we match them here to the sounds of Dawn's English name. But this applies to any language. And then within Hebrew, numbers and letters are the same energy. They're inherent within each other. Okay, with ancient Hebrew characters. You're familiar with the Hebrew script. And so what happens here is that this is quite different to conventional numerology, like Pythagorean numerology, where we assign numbers to the English alphabet. We're not doing that here. So what we're doing here is that we're going to analyze these numbers on the Star of David, Dawn. And you've got to bring these frequencies in and put them through this gateway of consciousness to experience this reality. So there's two big triangles here. There's a downward pointing physical triangle here, an upward pointing spiritual triangle. And what happens here is that the physical triangle represents the creation of Laura Dawn Wells as a personality, okay, as a brand new personality expression, which the soul uses as a filter to experience the matrix, to experience the reality. So this is where you learn to walk and talk, get conditional responses, get up and running in life. And how old are you now, Dawn? Just I need to see where you are in the progression through life, in cycles of 7 years.
I think I'm 55.
Okay, all right. So we spend the first 5 cycles of 7 years in this triangle predominantly, even though the other spiritual one's running. And between the ages of 35 and 42, the 6th cycle, or younger or older, the spiritual triangle activates. So when did your spiritual awakening happen, Dawn? When did you realize there's a lot more to it than what it first appeared to be when you were younger?
Well, I think, can't really say because I always had a spiritual bent, but I was told I had a walk-in come in, I think when I was 25, and I think around maybe 30, let's see, around 2007-ish was when I really had a lot happen spiritually, like major stuff.
Okay, so you were at 40 years old then.
Yeah, but I was always able to do, like, I'm like a medical intuitive, so I could always do psychic things even when I was young.
Yeah. Okay, so that's between the sixth cycle, between 35 and 42, where the spiritual triangle becomes more predominant. And this is where the soul's saying, okay, we've established this physical foundation. Now we want to bring the spiritual side up and get it up and running, get on with this mission. Okay. And so it's hoping that you can build the spiritual mission on the physical triangle here. So what we do in each corner of the triangle, we have three aspects. We have karma, physical karma in this case, talents, and goals here. And what happens here is that the idea is this physical karma activates from the time you're born. The physical talents are latent and they help overcome that. If it's a good match, and as these get stronger, you start to manifest the physical goals. Same in spiritual, except the spiritual karma is how you connect to higher consciousness and to deliver your mission of service. And the spiritual talents infuses in there to overcome that and infuses into the spiritual goals. Okay, and so the idea is the energy moves from karma to talents to goals physically and karma to talents to goals spiritually. And if you work on these 6 outer aspects consciously, so over time, basically, percentage complete, you actually start to manifest the soul destiny, the raw purpose of being here. Okay. And when you know what's in the contract, you can actually get on with it. So life speeds up, and this soul destiny or life purpose is revealed layer by layer as you work this through. Yeah. So the way we decode this is that we take these Hebrew numbers and we start allocating them at physical karma, and we allocate them around the Star of David till it's complete. We've used them all up, and we add the numbers up. So say in spiritual karma, the total is 22. And because we've got 22 numbers, that becomes the first energy, the frequency of a 22. It's just an English label for a Hebrew frequency. And this number comes, the right-hand number, a single-digit number, comes from adding the left-hand number up. 2 plus 2 is 4. So you have a 22, and it's karmic expression, and a 4, and it's karmic expression, plus every blend in between here. In the case of physical karma, the total is 25, which has no meaning in itself because it's greater than 22. So we go 2 plus 5 equals 7. 7 plus another, plus nothing gives another 7. So we get a double number. It's got a combination number. We get a 7, 7. One frequency, not a range of frequencies. So the soul's saying, Dawn, we want you to focus on one thing only. Which here there's a range of frequencies to experience. And all the other numbers are worked out accordingly. And then what we do is that we take these physical numbers, place them on the top half of the chart, spiritual numbers on the bottom half here, add them up, get 79 and 34, 7 plus 9 is 16, because it's got to be between 1 and 22, 3 plus 4 is 7. So this goes in the middle. It's a soul destiny. And the dominant vibration is there because that's where you have 4 more of the same number. Okay, that's like an overriding theme of this life. And these channel symbols Frank brought through, which are going to help me say what I need to say to you. So, Dawn, what's your main question about life spiritually? I'm going to give you a short reading now of this. What's the main question?
I would actually say, what is my purpose here? Because even though I did the healing for so long, every time I would heal a person, I would take on their problems. And even if I just tell somebody what to do, so it's like, even though that's what I wanted to do, it's like, that's not my path. So I really want to know my path, because at this point I just feel lost.
Okay. All right. I'm going to look at your current name as well,
Thank you.
because that contains some more of the answers. So we're going to lay in. Think of your birth certificate name we just worked there. Laura Dawn Wells is like the cake of your life. And this overlay energy of Dawn Wells is like a layer of icing on the cake, because this will probably give us more answers here. Okay, so yes, it does actually. So I'm going to go through this chart here. So Dawn, what broke your heart? Something broke your heart when you were younger.
Around 15, 17, I had a boyfriend, and it was actually my parents more that, well, I would say that was really my only love, real true love.
Yeah. What happened?
I was my parents were very overprotective, so I wasn't allowed to do a lot of things with him. And eventually he ended up cheating on me. And I still stayed with him. I loved him so much, but actually I was the one who ended up breaking up with him. But it's still, that broke my heart. The whole relationship broke my heart. It was almost as if my parents broke my heart more than anything, for the way they treated me.
Yeah. Okay, so for you, the reason you're stuck is because this is a symbolic left foot with a 7. And there's 2 parts of you. There's a part of you, the inner child, that's broken. There's a public facade you put out in the world. And she is stuck in the past with a symbolic left foot. Okay, so it's about letting go of that past, getting healing to let go of that past, so that you can start to heal the 15-year-old or however old you were at that time, and all the things your parents did. So then you can drop this facade and start to show the true you, how you truly feel, and live in the present. How does that sound?
It's funny, just maybe yesterday I realized, or today, exactly what you said, that I was still holding on to the past, and I had to let that go. And it's interesting also that it's my left foot, because around 5 years ago, my ankle twisted and it shifted my whole spine. So everything went out, and it stayed out because my foot my bones actually moved.
Yeah. And there's also here in the H, this is about learning emotional boundaries. There's a part of you emotionally still attached to that ex-boyfriend. And it's about learning to form clear emotional boundaries, not getting over involved in other people's stuff, pulling this back and saying, I'm here now, 40 years later, in a more boundary state, and letting it go. Because what happens with the part of you is still in relationship with him because it's not resolved.
Wow. That's all I can say.
Sound about right?
Yeah, I didn't really realize that I was holding on to him so much, but maybe to the pain of what happened. And the things you're talking about are also very valid about my boundaries. And I realized that too.
Yeah. So that's the key. If you want to try some divine healing or something like that, I'll put something on divine healing in the YouTube description. Okay, because this can all be let go. I mean, Hard Ev's made enormous progress, haven't you, using this?
Yeah.
It sounds like you've got a completely different life now.
I have, yes.
From what you used to have, and part of you probably didn't think this was possible, but look at you now.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I thought the same when I learned divine healing. So this is amazing.
Yeah.
What it can do. So you're here to explore experience, Dawn, to find out what your truth is in life and to learn to be emotionally resilient in that process. And you're here to let go anything in the ego which keeps you rigid in terms of your thinking of how things should be. Here to become flexible in your thought process. Does that sound about right?
Yeah, it's really interesting. Everything you're saying, it's almost as if earlier today, I had already heard the things that you were saying because they were coming to me, but only in little snippets. It's just really kind of amazing.
Yeah. And the strongest karmic pattern you have is this 22-4. This is about feeling that there is no God on a bad day. Okay, because this is about learning to reconnect to source energy and blend mind, body, and soul, and then share it in completeness. You're actually here really as a teacher, Dawn, of groups of people. You're here to hold space for them out in the world. That's the mission. Okay, and to share source energy with them. So on a bad day, do you feel a bit crazy, Dawn? I'll be very direct there. This could make you feel crazy on a bad day.
Not crazy, really. That's very rare. And I remember those days. I've had very few of those. But no, on a bad day, I don't want to be here.
Yeah.
And I have a lot of bad days.
Yeah, this is this bit here, the 8, which doesn't want to emotionally engage with the pain of Earth because the polarity of emotion is so strong. This here, most people feel abandoned by God by coming into a body. This happens from the moment we're born. But this here, part of your ego on a bad day feels there is no God. Does that happen? That's what this program's about. You're sort of stuck here and there's nowhere to go.
No, I actually, well, I know that there's a greater source that's everything and that it flows through all of us. And I never lose that. I never, but the idea of a creator, that's only coming to me now, that we're actually maybe part of a body that's a creator. But I always feel that there's something beyond what people call God or a conscious creator. There's something even beyond that. And I always feel that.
Yeah, well, that's a good sign, because that means that, well, part of it's because this one's the masculine aspect of God overcoming this. But the most important energy to overcome here is this disconnect from source, where the ego feels, you know consciously there's a creator, but on a bad day, the ego, often with this energy, can feel like there is no God. It's like I'm sort of stuck here. So this can create I think this creates a lot of the emotional torture you go through, this one here. Okay. This 8 here, are you good with people or are you hiding away? The 7 says you're hiding away from people.
Yeah, because like you said, the boundaries and everything else, and also just I'm telling you, I've been so blocked. I mean, it's almost, I'll be honest, like I feel I feel ashamed that I can't get beyond this. I'm so stuck. And so, yes, I stay away from people. It's terrible what's happened to me.
Yeah.
I didn't used to be like this.
Yeah. Well, I'd suggest some divine healing and optimizing your name, which basically means putting a powerful number like a 9 here to burn through this disconnect from source, to burn through here, just wanting to hide away. And divine healing also for the wound on being attached to the past. It can help you let go of this attachment here. Okay. So you're here as a teacher. This is the potential here. To hold space for others, out and be successful in society, but to do it in plain English. We're here to take high-level spiritual concepts, which embodies through the 22, bring them down to the earth plane here, and express them with an open heart and be your authentic true self. That's the mission. So it's the opposite of what you're doing at the moment, is to be totally seen, totally out there as a spiritual teacher, leader with an open heart. That's the mission, Dawn.
And that makes sense to me, because really when I see what I'm to do and what I want to do, that makes perfect sense. That's all that I really wanted to do.
Yeah, that's the mission. So, and then, yeah, to reach people really, very much. It's for both of you actually. Okay. How does that sound overall? Because you're here to come out of this negative context of this karmic pattern and to be completely visible.
Yeah, I've seen that. I mean, yeah, I've seen it and I know it, but I'm not manifesting it. And
Yeah.
that's what's so frustrating.
Yeah. So I'll show you what needs to be done, guys, to manifest this further. Okay. Because let me get the PowerPoint back. I'll pull up another diagram for you. Where is it gone? Hang on. Wait for this thing to come up. So the key here is this. This is time. This is power. Okay, so initially when we're born, our ego is very strong, trying to keep us asleep. But as we wake up and start to do our spiritual work, the ego diminishes in power. And our soul is sort of, its expression is suppressed by this power of the ego. But as we grow spiritually, soul energy gets stronger, ego gets less. And the idea is to get to this point of soul integration, the threshold of soul integration. So you're somewhere down here, Dawn. Okay. And Hardev, you're probably a bit more, made more progress because you have done a lot of work on yourself. You know, just to get to this point here where the power of the soul is greater than the power of the ego. Have you noticed how, Hardev, as you've done more and more work with Harinda, things get better and better, it keeps accelerating?
Yes, it does. Yeah.
Yeah, because you're getting up to here now. You've made the crossover. So the power of the soul, the drive to become whole and conscious, is overcoming the diminishing power of the ego. Every time you do a session, you go further down the slope here. Because and once you get to this, you sort of hit escape velocity emotionally, where this thing here can't stop you here.
Yeah.
It feels good, doesn't it?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. So Dawn, it's about getting to this point of soul integration. Okay. So I'd suggest divine healing work here. Either learn it or receive it. Given how strong your chart is, probably better to learn it actually, or try it out, and probably want to learn it. Because you need to work on yourself 2 or 3 times a week. And once you hit this point, then your life will unstick and then it will start to happen. Okay, that's the key. That's the key thing, most important thing I'd say to you today. Okay, so what happens here is that most people, most of our egos feel like the ego says, I've cleared 80% of my stuff. I can cruise now. When actually in reality, it's only got about 5%. So the ego is going to fool you thinking you've made more progress and you're more conscious than you are. Mine does it all the time. And then I realize, not as far as we'd like. Damn. But this is the way the ego does. It fools us so we don't do any more work than necessary. You probably noticed that, Hardev. It's like it's feeding you rubbish, basically. Most of the time, it's all garbage that comes out of it. Can't really trust anything it says. Okay.
Yeah.
So,
that key word, trust.
Yeah. So you got to get to this point here, Dawn. Hardev is smiling. You see, he's happy because life was probably hell initially, wasn't it? And then you got onto this, and then life became a lot better.
It had a purpose.
Yeah. Now you got purpose. You see, because you're aligning to the power of the soul. So in terms of purpose. Okay, because you're both clearly interested in that. I'll show you how that works. I'm just trying to show you the fastest way to get there. Okay. See, most people have a vision of what they want to do in life from the soul, but they don't actually manifest it because they haven't hit that point of soul integration. So it just becomes a nice idea, but doesn't turn into a reality. Okay. So just explain the mechanism of how to manifest the mission, the soul destiny. Everybody has a visionary template that we design at the higher dimensional level of what we're here to, how we deliver our gift of service. And it embodies through us here. And it's meant to embody through us and come out into the world, because our spiritual mission is not something we make happen. It's something where the best way for it to happen is to clear our ego first, clean up all the stuff on the ego as much as we can, and we dissolve it so it becomes surrendered. Then we become a vessel for this higher consciousness visionary template to come from the quantum plane through us and out into the world. And the matrix will just rearrange around that. But you've got to get clear enough. So the most important thing is to work on yourself. Plus, if you're running a spiritual business or whatever, or want to serve others, you've got to obviously run a business out in the 3D world, but the most important investment is within you. So this is the key, Dawn. Work on the inside, and everything we just said about the mission will eventually come out in the world. It'll take a lot longer than you'd like. Probably cost more time and energy you'd like, but what other choice do you have? Okay. All right. How does that sound, Dawn? So this is a mechanism of actually getting unstuck and manifesting the mission.
Yeah, well, I would definitely like that. I mean, I've done so much work, right? Meditation, so many things. And it's like, yes, I hit these walls that I can't get beyond. So that sounds very good.
Yeah, this takes time. This takes years. But the main thing is that you understand the principle, guys, of what you need to do. Okay, this is the key. So basically, you're literally getting out of your own way by clearing this vessel here. So its frequency rises. Therefore, this mission can embody, this high frequency mission can embody, because it's not, your body frequency is not high enough that this frequency can't come in. Therefore, the mission of the gift of service can't be delivered. Okay, so that's the key message there with us. Okay. All right, so let me get back to the main presentation. Minimize that window, minimize that one. This is just new things I've come up with recently and trying to explain this. So if you guys who are watching this, if you're wanting to find out about what your mission is, just like Dawn has, we have a new service called Soul Contract Reports. You can get a one-page summary, which gives a brief summary based upon your birth chart. So you can get that at yoursoulcontractreport.com. I have my practitioners will generate this for you and send it out. Okay, it's based upon the book Your Soul Contract Decoded, but rather than having to go through the whole book and manually, we do it for you. Okay, and this is a full report. If you really want to go into depth about what your mission is and what the challenges are, this is like a 50 to 100 page report. That's also available from yoursoulcontractreport.com. Okay, I just put this in there because some people say, I'm not ready for a live reading. I just want the basics of what's going on. This is what it'll get. This is what it'll do for you. Okay. So if you're interested in learning this, which sounds like you guys are, either for yourself or to help others, as a facilitator or coach or however you use this, we have everything from really esoteric spiritual people to business consultants learn this tool. It gives you an immediate and profound understanding of client issues or your own issues in your case, Dawn. And it can accurately guide you throughout all your work with people. It builds trust and gets very fast results because it gets right to the point. Okay, and when you bring absolute truth into an ego structure that's trying to keep you asleep, it dissolves it because truth runs at a very high level of consciousness. Okay. The way we teach this is that it's a lot of people read the book Your Soul Contract Decoded, which I encourage everyone to do. What we actually do here with this training is it's not more of the book. The book's based upon the level 1 manual for this training. This training teaches you how to give a good birth chart reading. What we do is that we put you in an energy field of the transmission of the 22 numbers, so you become it. This is experiential learning. It's completely different. You become the work, and you sit in the field, and we look at all the different aspects of all of your classmates, and hopefully we get most of these 22 numbers and in those aspects. And we talk about the general meaning, but we ask them to explain their subjective experience of having these numbers. And you'll never forget that because some of it's pretty challenging and painful. So you get to see real people explaining what they went through. We do that for 3 days. And then we teach you how to generate charts and stuff. And then we spend the last 2 days of the training where you give and receive readings. We teach you how to hold space to give and receive readings. And so we activate the transmission of the energy through you. So you sit in the field for 5 days with us. And So you become the work, and with practice, it's maintained. It's amazing the readings people give just by sitting in the field for the first 3 days. The stuff that comes out of their mouth, they didn't realize how much they knew, because it's not about the mind absorbing it, it's about becoming it. It activates your DNA, it activates your energy fields, it activates your past life connection to the work. Plus you get a whole team, usually up to 10 beings who are helping you deliver readings to people. So you're actually again, it's about getting out of your own way, being a conduit for higher consciousness to wake up those. It's a very sacred experience. I mean, you just think about how your first reading was with Harinder Hardev, how strong that was. It's like someone switched on the sun, basically, and there's my life. Can't hide now. It's all there.
Yeah.
This is what we teach you to do. And it'll seem normal to you if you learn this, but to them it's so profound. Okay. And we help you open your channel and your intuition. So get out of their way and the universe speaks through you to people, but through the structure we activate in you. So yeah, this is just summarizing what I just said. Experiential learning, full body transmission, so you become it. And a lot of people feel, I read the book, I'm just going to get more of the book. It's not that at all. It's completely another level, quantum leap, you become it. And we support you with peer-to-peer support on Facebook. And plus we have additional optional support programs for your development. Okay. Okay, so that's how that works. And so delivering readings to people, it gives people a deep sense of peace, as we've all felt, knowing the truth. A relief to know that my life's not some big car crash, there's actually an order to it. That's how I felt. And people who feel like victims, or in this case, your case, Dawn, I'm not saying you're a victim, but feeling stuck, you can actually take charge and start to move forward, because now you know what's going on. Okay, so it can move people out of stuckness. And what we teach you to do is show people where they are on that spiritual map of life. You say, well, you are here. Okay, and then recommendations how to get to the next step from wherever they are, how to align to this path. Most people are sort of over here somewhere, they're all over the place, but we help them align to this path. So they're starting to follow it. It's following what we call following the spiritual signature. What's the next right action that opens your heart? And it really touches people at a deep level, builds great trust through working with them. And you also open to a deeper level of yourself and having compassion for people. I mean, you've both seen the pain that people go through in life because of these programs. So, yeah, I've already said this, giving and receiving readings in the group, but the idea is that with practice, you can deliver readings soon after the workshop. And working regularly on it is very important because it activates and reinforces the transmission of the work. That's what we do over the 5 days of the training. So, any questions, guys, about that process? Dawn?
Yeah, I have one question. I heard you speak, like I said, just a few days ago. I think it was something through Portal to Ascension or something.
Yeah.
And you were talking about the team that comes through and the energy that comes through. So I just want to know, when you're talking about that, I mean, I understand embodying the Hebrew letters. I've always thought that they were three-dimensional, actually, so that makes sense to me. But the beings you're talking about, the team, what is that? What energies is that?
We all have high dimensional guidance to help us in our missions of service on Earth. So everyone has personal guides who gradually change over time to help us grow spiritually. If you and that I talked about walk-ins on the Portal to Ascension, and if you're a walk-in, which is a change of soul, do you think you're a walk-in, Dawn? You mentioned that earlier.
Yeah, and I know I've been told that, and it makes complete sense, because yeah, I would even wonder if I had a walk-in when I was a child too. I don't remember most of my childhood; it was very awful. So yes.
Yeah.
Sorry.
So if you had a change of soul, and the purpose of a walk-in, just for the people not familiar with it, is that basically a lower frequency soul comes in at conception and grows the body to a certain point, and at a predetermined time to get the right astrological configuration is a change of soul, and a more high frequency walk-in soul comes in to take over the lifetime. And the first soul leaves because the high frequency soul could not have embodied at conception. The mother would have had a miscarriage because the frequency difference is too great. So if you've had a walk-in, what happens there is that there'll be a whole walk-in integration team, because that's a whole process for integrating. It's a very complex process. I'll put some more links on the YouTube description for that, Dawn. Okay. So there'll be a whole team of specialists to help integrate that soul as quickly as possible. It takes years, so that the mission of the walk-in soul, which will build upon what the first personality created, because the deal is basically the walk-in soul comes in and it can have the body and the personality, but the deal is it has to clear all the karma in the body from the first soul. Once it's done enough of that, then it can get on with its mission. Okay.
Yes, and I remember you said that. I missed the beginning of the talk, and I've got to go back and watch it. So I haven't seen all of your talk, but I remember you said that, and that was one of the things I was like, wow, that makes so much sense.
Yeah. So that's why we have divine healing, especially for that, because walk-ins they want to clear the karma really fast. They need strong tools. Okay. So basically, the new soul, your walk-in soul, is using the soul contract of the first soul as the baseline foundation for its mission. And they would have agreed this pre-incarnationally. That's actually what's happening. But it's like your personality has a massive upgrade in terms of latent potential. So these guys worked it out a long time ago, how it's going to work. So there's great potential if you've had a walk-in, Dawn, but you've got to clear the body of the first soul stuff. Okay,
right.
That's the key. All right. Yeah, does that help?
Yes, I knew that. I've been aware of that, and it's interesting because even the memory of the boyfriend, because like I said, I don't even feel attached to that anymore, but it's the karmic aspects of it that are the issue.
Yeah. Yeah, well, it's the first soul's emotional body that's attached to the boyfriend. You just come in and pick up the residue, because if you've had a walk-in, then it's a different emotional body. You just have the memory in the body. So basically, It's about clearing it, as I described earlier. Okay.
Yeah.
So that's your mission, is to clear the body of the first soul's karma. Then the mission will happen. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Any other questions? Hardy, have you got any questions about the training or anything that's come up?
No, nothing's come up, to be honest.
Okay.
I understand it.
Yeah. Dawn, any other questions?
I don't really know what the divine healing is, so I would ask kind of what is that? I wasn't really aware of that aspect.
Okay. I will describe it for you.
Thank you.
So let me find. Okay, I need to find another presentation here. I'll just go through it briefly. This one. It's going to load now. Right. So basically, divine healing is based on the principle of asking, you shall receive. And this is you at soul level, and your soul contract, which we've just been talking about, creates this ego onion. Okay, to create a sense of separation from God and all the challenges we've just been talking about for the past hour. And so what divine healing does is aligns to the higher self, and it helps you peel this ego onion layer by layer in the right order. And the way you do that is that you feel each layer and clear it. Okay, so it's about basically it's saying you dive into the mud of your karma and bring consciousness to it, which the ego is very averse to doing. What it's saying is everything's one. And you grow lotuses, you grow the good things in life. So Hade's been busy growing lotuses, haven't you? All the good stuff. And you're probably doing quite well, isn't it? And there's a lot less mud, isn't there?
Yeah,
So
it was.
that's what you've been up to. So,
Yeah.
and what you do with divine healing, the core principle is basically you bring feeling consciousness to, say this is the stuckness, say, Dawn. You've got the desire and courage to feel this, and then you expand your consciousness to whatever's creating the stuckness. And then what you feel you can heal, then you command the higher self, you use what things called command codes to dissolve this. And because you've brought a good deal of consciousness to it, it will dissolve, that layer will be gone. That's what we do in divine healing. But the ego is basically, it's onto us to say, well, I'm going to numb you out so you can't feel it, which is why we have trauma. You remember how it was when you first started, but you're probably quite numb. And as you gradually work with Harinda, it got easier and easier.
Yeah.
So what you're doing is you're breaking through this thing here, and you're getting to the programs. Okay. So
Had a lot of programs.
we all do.
Yeah.
The idea here is to break through these layers of protection and to clear out the deeper issue, traumatic issues. And so what happens then is that here's another diagram. Yeah. Basically, we move from being stuck, where all the shock and trauma here is blocking our life force, because it takes a lot of life force to contain that in the body, so it doesn't do any damage. What we're actually doing is that we're bringing consciousness to the blocks and then freeing up life force. As this block leaves, more energy comes. Do you feel more energized now, Hadev, after all this work?
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. So all starts to free up. So that's what we're doing with divine healing, Dawn. We're bringing consciousness to the issue, dissolving it with command codes by asking the higher self. And so what you learn in divine healing is how to basically identify these programs. We have a big manual of all the different programs you can have. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Yeah. So the divine healing is the tool to manifest your soul contract. Because you can understand what your contract is, but divine healing is the means of clearing the roadway, the pathway, to manifest what and align to what this contract wants you to do. That's how the two go together. So we have the pathway of the contract. You're here, you apply divine healing, and that clears the blockages, and you make more progress, clear the next blockage. So basically, it helps you progress a lot faster down this road on the spiritual map of life. Okay. All right. Okay. So, any questions on that, Dawn? Does that make sense?
Yeah. And all of that is all of that part of the 5 days as well? So learning that?
No, that's a separate training. That training is a separate 4-day training.
Okay.
Okay. Because you can only learn so much in one go. It's basically a healing intensive. That's what divine healing is. Okay. So let me close this. Say that. All right. So, okay, if you're interested in that, let me just find. I'll show you when you can do that. It's going to load another presentation in. So if you're interested in that, Dawn, got to find the dates. Where are they? Here it is. So we start one on the 11th, actually, next Saturday. If you're interested in that. Okay, it starts at 4:30 Pacific time because we have to cover from the East Coast where you are all the way up to Poland or beyond. Runs from 4:30 a.m. to 12:30 p.m. if you're interested in that, over 2 weekends, and you can go through that process we just described there. Okay, and it's a massive healing intensive, and you then heal a lot of stuff, especially in the stuckness, and you also have a tool you can use on other people if you want, as a practitioner. So you can find out more there at divinehealingtraining.com. Okay.
Yeah, I wouldn't be able to, I couldn't afford to do it the next time, but I can maybe in the future. I couldn't do it this soon.
Yeah. Yeah. Let me find the dates for the next one to tell you. I think we're running it in June. I have to stop sharing because it's easy to get to this calendar without all the sharing stuff running. And I'll get to the soul contract one as well in a minute. So the next one after that, we run it 3 times a year. Okay. Waiting for the calendar to load. It's slow. It's coming up.
And it sounds like we can do that with, we don't have to take the other first in order to do that.
No, they're not they're not prerequisites for each other. They go together as a very powerful combination.
Right.
The soul contract gives you or gives the client the spiritual method of life, divine healing to use the pathway to actually manifest that contract. So the next one runs, I'm going to write this down, on 16th to 19th of June is the next one.
Okay.
Okay. So
yeah, that's great. It gives me a lot of time.
It gives you a bit of time. Okay. If you want, I can sign you up to our prospects list, people who want to know about it earlier. I can do that if you want. So we email you when things get ready to go.
Oh yeah, that would be great.
Yeah, I'll put you on that. Now back to the soul contract training. So we seem to be covering multiple trainings today, the way this is working out. So let me close this window here. So for those interested in soul contract reading training, the next one, we run it 3 times a year actually. One for the Western Hemisphere one, which is for you guys, 17th to the 19th and 25th to the 26th of March. So basically it's over 2 weekends plus 1 weekday. Runs the same time, 12:30 to 8:30 p.m. UK. Pacific time is 4:30 to 4:30 a.m. to 12:30 p.m. Everyone used to fly to England, but then the business went global, so we stopped traveling to teach. We just got on Zoom. So you can find out more at soulcontractreadingtraining.com. Total cost is $835 or £718. The deposit's £277 or $322 approximately. So that's going to be a fun training. You meet all sorts of people like yourself on that. And for you guys who live from the Middle East onwards over to Australasia, we have an Asia Pacific, our first Asia Pacific training. So because everyone said to me, can you run it earlier, Nicolas, because it's too late to go through the night. So this is why we set this one up. Or if you're in Europe, you want to start early, hard ev. This is the 6 a.m. start, 6 a.m. to 2 p.m. UK, but it's designed to go all the way up to New Zealand, 5 p.m. to 1 a.m. People said, if you can, once the 3rd or 4th Australian said to me, can you make it earlier, which is 3 to 11 p.m. on the East Coast, it will come, which is why we set this one up. Okay, so it'd be our first one. So it's a pretty civilized time. Okay. Europe and the Middle East here, India, it's very civilized. Like 9 to 5 and 10:30 to 6:30 in India. We have people from Malaysia, Hong Kong, Japan, New Zealand. They come from all over the place. It's the same price as before, just that the time zone is, we teach at 6.5 hours earlier than normal. And I get up early anyway, so I don't mind getting up for this if it helps raise consciousness in this part of the world. So, okay.
Okay.
Any final questions?
So the dates, just to confirm, 17th to 19th of March.
Yeah.
Or the 6th to 8th and 13th, 14th of May for soul contract reading.
Yeah, so it's 17th and 19th of March and 20th and 26th of March. This is one complete training. It's 3 plus 2 days. It's not 2 separate trainings because you got to do 5 days. So we give you a break, 4 days break. 5 days break then between the transmission and then the practice, because it's quite intensive. Okay, but also means we call it the California Mom Special because they started asking me, can you do it on the weekends? I don't have much vacation, but then I can come. That's why we split it up in the spring. But later in the year, there are like 5 continuous days, or 3 plus 1 day off, then another 2 days, because there's more time in the schedule in spring.
And
Okay.
Divine Healing is on the 16th and 9th to the 19th of June.
Your Divine Healing starts this Saturday, 11th and 12th. Okay, 11th and 12th of. Do you want? The June one. Yeah, June one, 16, 17, 18, 19, 16th to the 19th of June. Yeah, that's correct.
Okay.
Same time, or this Saturday and the next 2 weekends. That's the other one. So.
Right.
Okay.
Right.
And
Okay.
Go on.
I would just have to go for a later one, but based on what you told me, thank you so much. I mean, thank you for doing that reading. It's so powerful. And I would love to be able to do this for other people, just to have it like as a tool. But I would have to do a much later one because it sounds like I would really like to do the Divine Healing. I would like to do both.
Okay. Well,
Yeah.
I can give you the dates for the October one if you want.
Oh yeah, that sounds reasonable for my budget.
Yeah. So let me find the October dates for you. We run the Western Hemisphere one twice a year. And we run the Asia Pacific provided we have enough people. So the October dates for you, I just got to look on Google Calendar. Okay, let me just scan through. Where's this thing gone? Okay, the October dates, Dawn, are 25th to the 27th of October. You got that?
Yes.
28th is a day off because you got to have a break. Then the 29th and 30th for the last 2 days. Okay.
Yeah, thank you.
So you can go and save for that.
Yes, I have to save, but yes, yeah. And it's really amazing. And it's just, thank you. It's so beautiful to have you reflect back to me what I know deep inside, but to be able to believe it and know that it's true and that it's possible. And that's really what I'm here for. It's maybe like you said, it's just so powerful.
Oh yeah,
it's so helpful.
yeah. This can all be done. You just got to focus. I mean, I've shown you the pathway and the tools. You just got to apply yourself and stay focused, and you'll get there. Look, Hardev's made a big shift.
I know, listening to you.
He comes from a very tough karmic lineage, being from Asia, as I do. If he can do it and I can do it, there's no reason why you can't do it. It just takes time. Determination and will is the key for this. It'll get you a long way in life. So.
No, thank you.
Okay, guys. Any final questions? Thanks for coming.
Oh, I do have, I'm sorry, I have one other question.
Yeah.
I wrote it down so I would remember to ask you. You mentioned that about changing my name to a 9. So how is something like that done, or how? And I didn't know what that 9 meant.
I'll show you. Hang on. Let me show you.
Oh, wonderful. Thank you.
Okay, I was going to share the screen again.
And it's funny because I keep on thinking and feeling my name is not my name, or, so it's interesting that you said that.
Okay, so it's a process called name optimization, which I'll put a link for it on the YouTube description.
Okay.
But basically, your name is too short because you've limited yourself to 3 energies rather than having the 7 here. So what we do is we come up with a new name. It could just be Dawn with a new middle name in there. We don't normally change it too radically, but between the 2 of us, we work on that. So we come up with a new name down here. And for you to get unstuck, we need to have an energy, probably a 9 here, which is a dragon, powerful energy, most powerful one in the system. That goes through this talent gateway here. It burns into this 7 here, So you come out of hiding. It helps you burn through the left foot energy of staying stuck in the past. It burns through. It's essential for this 22, so you feel connected to source. And then we'd also put another number here to get you focused, maybe a 6 here to overcome this 6, which is also gets stuck. Okay, it's block creativity, but it also helps you focus on with the 7. There's all these choices that you could actually do in terms of showing us. And the 6 says, which is like this symbol here, it goes, it's this one, Dawn. So I'd probably put a 6-6 there, maybe a 13-4 here, the divine feminine, to heal your wounded heart. Okay, that's what I'd probably do. Okay, and so the name change will completely change your reality. Okay, mine did when I changed my name, 2006. Created this life. I went from barely making a living to having a global teaching business over that period of time, and having a best-selling book. So you can design the name to create whatever reality you desire, Dawn. And the name is already inside you, just that we need to work together to find it together. So it's not something you pick out of thin air, it's actually getting to maximum potential. That's what name optimization does. Does that help?
Yeah, definitely. And yes.
Yeah, so this is...
I mean, I would definitely like to do that.
Yeah. Well, what happens with Soul Contract is that if you come on the October training of this year and come to the level 2 training in about June 2024, you can learn to do it yourself.
Okay.
Because the cost of the level 2 training is often less than the cost of doing the optimization itself. Okay, it's about the same price.
Great. Okay.
Then, so you learn how to do it and you can help others. So you get 2 for the 1, basically. Okay, that's the most cost-effective way. Or you can do it. You can do it with me, or if you want. It's up to you.
I mean, I would love to do it with you, but like you said, I mean, if I don't learn it, and because I would love to do it sooner, but I would also love to learn how to do it.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Or if you're able to manifest the means of coming on the level 1 soul contract in March, the level 2 is in June this year, so you'd have it sooner. But we run a level 2 once a year, so. But it's having targeted frequencies to counteract all the karmic stuff. That's what we're actually doing in name optimization. So literally, you can redesign your reality by you're burning through the original programming and transforming it. That's the way it's designed. It's a very powerful way of accelerating your life. Okay.
Yeah.
So
Actually, so tell me those dates again, because I mean, yeah, it's like I've been stuck so long, and I really just feel such a need and really to heal it this year. I mean, I would really like to get through it. So the March dates were,
yeah, let me
sorry,
go again.
ask again.
Yeah, the March dates are, let me clear all this, my drawing up here. So the March dates.
It's right there.
17th to 19th, 25th, 26th of March. Because then you have a tool where you can deliver readings and earn a living off it. Obviously, you've got to set up a business around this. Okay. So what are you doing at the moment for work? Are you working as a therapist or doing more?
No, I'm not doing anything. I'm on disability, actually.
Okay.
And yeah, but so, and I thought I would get off of it much sooner, but I'm still on it.
Yeah. So this from here onwards could, what people do is they give free readings to practice initially, then they start giving to friends and family, and they start charging, and friends and family tell other people about it. So you can build eventually a nice little business around just giving birth readings. And then that gets you out of disability.
Yeah.
And then that also then generates, more income, and then that finances your other finances your divine healing, and finances your soul contract too. That's how the guys do it. Okay, so if you can actually get to this, that'll completely change the way your life is this year. But setting up a new business takes time. Okay, and it requires effort and learning a whole new skill set. But it gives you freedom though to get on with your life. So,
sorry, I had a quick question. So the March dates you just shown us. Did you say that was level 1 and then level 2 is in May?
Yeah, no, well, level 2's in about June. Okay.
Level 2 is in June.
I'll tell you, so basically this teaches you how to give a good birth chart reading. Level
Right.
2 teaches you how to look at the overlay effect of different layers of different effect of other names, different names you've had, the names other people have. It gives you the impact, the hidden dynamics behind relationships, which is the next question people ask you. They say, okay, Hadi, you've done my birth name. Tell me about my entire family. There's 10 of them. Let's go.
No, of course.
That's what happens, you see.
That's exactly where I went down.
Yeah.
So I did the soul contract reading, then I did a reading for myself and my partner, and then I was trying to get to a reading for business names and so forth. So I just wanted to know what the structures were. So there's level 1, level 2, and I assume level 3 for business, is it?
Yeah, level 3 is business. I'll give you the dates. I'll get back to your question in a sec, Dawn. Hang on.
Sorry, Dawn. Apologize for interrupting.
Oh, no, it's fine.
Let's hang on. I'll just give you guys the dates. Okay, it's easier with this off. Okay. Easier to actually look on the website, actually. I'm jumping around the calendar. Yeah, got to find it. So the one we run one, the next level 2 for you guys, if you're interested, is going to be on. It's got to find it. It's a 4-day training, and it is on 28th of July to the 31st of July. That's level 2. That's relationships. I'll post that on the YouTube description as well.
These dates are available on your website, did you say?
Yeah, they're on the website. And then the level 3, if you want to do business names, okay, this is for marketing yourself as a practitioner, especially. That basically teaches you how to get the right legal legal names, trading names, website names to maximize marketing reach. That one's once a year on the 10th to the 13th of November. Yeah, and basically, it's not just the conscious learning, but soul contract is taught in 3 transmissions. So basically, you activate to another level each time you go to it. Yeah. And by the time you hit the 3rd level, you're fully activated. And by that stage, people are not even using a manual. They just meditate on a channel. It just comes through them because they really become it. But that's actually happening in even level 1 in the past few years. People just come out the end and just giving readings with no preparation of notes. They're just feeling into the energy. And because they become it, it just comes out of them.
See, with level 1 training on the 17th and 19th and 25th, 26th, those dates from the 17th, I think, to the 20th, or 22nd. I've already got some other training, bioenergy healing training that I'm going away for. So I wanted to know if they're on your website. Can I check to see if there's other dates available for level 1 and then level 2 and level 3?
Well, the other way to do that in your case is come on the Asia Pacific one, if we have enough people. Hopefully we will. And that's 6th to the 8th and 13th to the 14th of May. So it's a 6 a.m. start in the UK. Yep. So that's your way around that.
Okay.
Okay.
Level 1, 8 to 6 a.m. Okay. All right, that's fine.
Okay, that solves that one.
Yeah. I can look at those dates as well.
Yeah.
Make sure I get them in my diary.
Yeah.
Okay, and then the divine healing. Dates I've got are the 6th to the 8th and the 11th, 13th and 14th of May. 6 a.m. to 2 p.m.
No, that's soul contract 1. That's soul
contract 1. Okay.
Yeah, that's the Asia Pacific one. So you can actually make it.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay. Those dates are related to that.
And the divine healing training. Yeah, so you can't make the 17th and 19th or 25th and 26th of March. That's the other training you're going on, is it?
Yeah, that's the other training I'm on.
Okay, so confirming 6th to the 8th and 13th to 14th of May is the Asia Pacific Soul Contract training.
Okay.
Okay, and if you want to do the divine healing, we'll get back to you in a minute, Dawn, just finish these dates here. So the divine healing training, the next one is this weekend, but if you can't make that one, it is 16th to 19th of June. Okay.
June.
Make sure, let me just make sure actually, because there's a lot of dates flying around here.
There is a lot of dates, yeah.
Yeah, so just waiting for the calendar. Yeah, confirming 16th to 19th of June is the next divine healing one beyond the one starting this weekend.
Okay.
You can get to that.
Right.
Okay.
Okay, brilliant.
All
I will
right.
go on your website just to make sure. I've
Yeah,
got
just go and
everything.
make sure. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, we'll do.
Yeah, the divine second June ones aren't on there yet. We just put the next one up. So Dawn,
Okay.
continue. You had another question there.
I forgot the first question, but I do have another question. Again, I'm so sensitive. So when you activate the letters in the body and it activates the DNA, how is that transmitted, or how is that? What happens with that? Because as you said that, I mean, I honestly have such a aversion to having structure, period. Structure placed into me that could limit anything in any way or structure me in a certain way.
It's not limiting, it's more enhancing. It's basically activating something that's dormant in you, so you remember how to do this, so you become it. Okay, so it's basically a dormant structure that activates. You have access to it when you need it. It's not going to limit you anyway. It's going to expand you. Okay.
Yeah. So if it's dormant, it's something that's you're saying that it's already something that
it's already in you. It's already in you. We're just activating it, so you can use it. You can actually use it. So
okay, beautiful. As long as it's something that's already a part instead of something like with Reiki. When I learned Reiki, the person who taught me put things in me, and she had something bad, and she actually told me that later, that she found out she had something bad, and so every time I did Reiki, that was part of the system. So that scared me, and I don't.
No, it's nothing like that at all. No.
Okay, wonderful.
We're activating the frequencies of God in you, so you'll be fine. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah. It's a really high frequency energy that's activated.
Yeah, I mean, I feel really good about it. I felt really good about you from the moment I saw you and started listening to you. So,
Oh, that's nice to hear. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
Okay, some good questions here. So, any other queries or clarifications you guys need?
No, I'm okay.
Okay, Dawn, anything else?
No, I'm going to have to re-listen to this because it's so early in the morning or late at night for me. So the divine healing, I mean, oh my gosh, I almost want to do it right away because I'm just going to have to figure out how to do this. But no,
you've got a 6 there in your chart. Okay, so it's all about focusing on manifesting it as if it's already done. Okay, you've got a very powerful ability to manifest, Dawn. So if you really want it to happen, there's a good chance it will. Don't worry about how it's going to happen. Just focus on the final state of it happening. You're on the class. If you really desire to have it be on the class.
Yeah.
Okay. Then the universe will figure it out. So see how you feel. I'll put a manifestation video. I'll put a manifestation video link up. Okay. I'll do it now because it's so close to the training. Let me find it. I'll put it in the chat for you guys, okay? But I also I'll put it on the YouTube I'll put it in the actual description of the YouTube video. It might take a day or two to get that up. Hang on, let me just find the manifestation video for you so you can do it now. Okay,
Okay.
Great.
let me just find it.
My chat says it's disabled, but I'm thinking that just means I can't type, but I'll be able to see whatever you put in.
Okay. All right, so let me find it here. So this is the most recent one. Just make sure you can get it. So I'll put it in the chat for you guys. If those of you guys watching, I will put it in the I'll put it in the future.
Oh, yeah, good.
Can you see that, Dawn?
Yep, got it.
This is a very powerful manifestation process that I use to create this business. Okay. It's very, very powerful. And so this is how you get unstuck. Okay.
Okay, wonderful.
Anything else, guys? This has been good conversation. Glad you guys are getting moving with us. Looking forward to working.
Yeah. Just finalize those dates and then start moving forward.
Yeah. Okay, we all done, people? I can stay longer if you need me, but if you're happy with that, we'll call it a day here.
Oh, I'm good. Thank you so much.
Yeah. Okay, so thank you for stepping up. Look forward to working with you. And my mission is to help you with manifest your mission in the world. That's why I was born to this, in this reality, into this life. So it's the deepest fulfilling thing for me to help you guys get running and see you make a difference in the world. That's why I do this.
Yeah, that's awesome. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Dawn and Hardev. Look after yourselves. We'll see you soon.
Yeah, see you soon. Thank you.
Thank
Thanks,
you.
Don, for your
Everyone else
time.
is watching this
Take care
later.
now.
Okay,
Nice meeting you too, Arden.
bye.
Bye-bye. Bye.
Bye-bye.